Well, the answer to this question is quite a lot. But again, these questions are deliberately challenging because in 30 days, if you wanted to, you could listen to all 30 audio lessons that I recorded with my 2 students. And remember, these students went from 0 Spanish to a very, very good level of Spanish. They were doing some very complicated things by lesson 30. Now, if you decided to absolutely go for it and do 1 lesson a day, it would suggest mathematically, wouldn't it, that you'd be able to do everything in that course. Now, this is something I go into in another video, but I honestly think that the way you learn is really important. And it goes back to goal setting as well. If you only have 30 days before a holiday and you want to cram some Spanish in, then you're going to go for the phrases that are important for that particular holiday. If you desperately need to do something in 30 days, you've got to prioritize. How much can you learn in 30 days if you're starting a course and you have the aim of going further and you want to pace yourself and you're not rushed? The answer is still quite a lot. But it does depend on what you want to achieve. Now, 30 days is not enough to be fluent. And by fluent, I mean, and we'll maybe go into this in another video, being able to say what you want pretty much with anyone who speaks the language. Now, we're not talking here necessarily about knowing every particular business term or everything that you would find in a DIY store in Spain. That's very specific language. And that sometimes people in my own language, in English, I probably wouldn't know the name for everything in a hardware store. So that's unrealistic. But in 30 days, you can have a good level of knowledge to be able to hold very basic conversations. I would say that, talking about goal setting, which we've gone over before, you need to understand that learning a language is a process that is going to take you time. Anyone who promises fluency in 30 or 100 days, they're selling something which is technically possible. You could technically, if you were the right sort of learner, if you had really good language skills and you were super focused and you had a team of people around you to make sure that you fell asleep well at night and you were hydrated and your food intake was absolutely perfect, you might be able to do incredible things. And there are certainly very, very bright people who have done challenges on TV and have learned a new language in 10 days. There are some amazing things that can happen. But if we're talking about average people, I say that with no disrespect. I think average is awesome. If we're talking about average people, you're a common person in the street who wants to learn language, 30 days is a great period of time. What it can do is set expectations and targets. It can set a routine. It can set in motion a real desire to push forward. 30 days is a great time frame to measure some success that you've had. And I think that every little milestone, every little thing that you're able to do, whether it's answer a question without pausing the recording on one of my audio lessons, celebrate them. It's super, super important. So the key is to avoid overwhelm. Don't try and learn too much in 30 days. This is an arbitrary number, by the way. This is just the title to the video. Some people have asked this question online. It's a very popular question, actually. But if you try and overwhelm yourself, you're not going to do anything. You're going to be stressed and it's not going to sink in. And the very important difference, and we'll talk about memory in a different video, but difference between short-term and long-term memory is huge with language learning. If you picked a certain number of phrases or words to get you going, then great, that you can do that. But as I've said in the previous video, the way to do this, and I talk about the top 100 words in a language, the most frequently used words in a language, the ones that come up again and again, and are words that enter into so many different phrases and structures that if you don't know them, then you're really in trouble. Those are the ones to focus on. And those are the ones we pick up very, very early on in my course. So 30 days, I would never recommend pushing through a lesson a day. I always think it's good to go at the rhythm that suits you and your life. Life gets in the way. If you've got kids, or even if you haven't, you get sick, the dog's not well, you have to go on holiday, you shouldn't feel obliged to take a lesson because you're going to break a streak or lose gems. There's none of that nonsense here. You learn when you're happy to do so, when you're relaxed, when you've got the space. It should be a pleasurable thing. It should be enjoyable. Okay? So in 30 days, you can achieve whatever you want. You're in control of your learning. The time frames, what you do, how you do it. If you tick off these lessons and start seeing the things that you're able to do, hey, go to lesson 1, then do 2, and then 3, and then go back to number 2 again, and then number 3, and go back to 1, and then do 2 and 3 and 4. Do it how you wish. There are brilliant ways to learn. You'll find a rhythm that suits you. But don't give yourself unrealistic goals. Don't force yourself to do something within a certain time frame. Yeah, give yourself some flexibility and some space. Permission to skip a day or a week, doesn't matter. You're in control. It needs to be fun. You need to enjoy it.